Good morning. So I'm going to use this video to give you an overview of what to expect for the week, particularly since I wasn't able to join you on Thursday. So for this week, students are going to be thinking about energy transfers and density. Density is huge. This is like the big focus of this weather unit. It's not really about what causes hailstorms. It's really about density and thermal energy transfer. So we will be visiting density several times this week in order to just make sure it sticks in the brains of students. So we are going to start today by thinking about how investigating, how could investigating what happens to the air getting warmed help us explain the hailstorms? Okay, so we're going to use that to then launch into density, and this all animates. But basically, we're going to have students define density, and then within that definition is the definition of mass and volume. So taking a look, if we were to zoom in on this sample of wood and on this sample of copper, which one, if they're identical sizes, which one has more mass and how do we know? So looking for the copper has more mass because it has more molecules, it has more matter in that little given space. The relationship, which one has more volume? So how do you know? So the large dog, because it takes up more space. And then populating through here, which ones of these are more dense? These all correspond with Digital Notebook page 38. From there, we're going to ask students to make a prediction. We're going to tell them that we're going to trap air. And to do that, we're just going to have an empty bottle that is sealed with a bubble. And that soap is going to be what keeps the air inside the bottle separate from the air outside of the bottle. So there'll be two separate environments. And when they put this bottle into the cold water, what do they think will happen to that film? And when they put it into the hot water, what do they think? They should try and use the word density to apply what we just went over. Next, we're going to ask students to actually do this investigation. It's not too hard. I did it with lots of different bottles. I only used dish soap, but I then reused it. So I think it will be accessible to most students. If, however, it is not, this is a video of me without any voice doing the demonstration, doing the activity. So students would then use the instructions on page 40 and then answer some questions on page 40 and carry out the investigation, then record their observations. And then finally, be thinking about what's going on and be prepared to share that tomorrow. So then tomorrow, we're going to connect back to that anchoring phenomena, help the students to make a model. This will be on page 41. And then not only will they have the model and they'll be able to see that the molecules are arranged in a less dense way it's not really arranged in a less dense way because this comes down. At any rate, to keep the density the same, this comes down and that goes up. But we're going to get into adding thermal energy transfer. So here is a thermal energy transfer BrainPop video, and then here is thermal energy amplify simulation without my voice. So you can either narrate as you teach, or you can embed that video in WeVideo and narrate, and then you don't have to do it 3 times. Okay, and then students are going to add to their models to make sure that we get those energy transfers in there. Not exactly sure how this is going to go, and I'm sorry. But basically, we can close with what is density and how does that relate, or that might end up going into the next day of Wednesday. And again, Wednesday and Thursday, I'm still kind of thinking through, but basically there are 2 really awesome simulations on density. There's a PhET simulation and an American Chemical Society. We're going to do both of those. So will that be Wednesday or will that be Thursday? They're going to be doing a claim evidence reasoning about the helium balloon, and there is a video that is linked on what happens. So students don't have to do it. You don't have to do it, but of course they can. And then Friday will be the summary chart. So claim evidence reasoning will be an assessment, and then our summary chart. So that's the week in a nutshell.